good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion!
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I
know what's good for me. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm sorry, I need to go on mute. So I am live and I can be heard on YouTube. Thank you, anyone, everyone, American born, first one in the live, and I appreciate it because I love to have kind of like a co-host, which is the commentary that goes along while we are discussing the shows that I like to watch and I like to discuss. And just excuse the way I'm facing, the sun is doing something weird with the blinds and all of that. I may have to rearrange this whole office that I have set up. Thank you, and I appreciate you telling me I can be heard. I appreciate that. Thank you, American born. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday so far. I'm glad to be here, glad to be back working on my shows that I really like. This is one of the new ones, Ladies of London. Welcome in. Well, I'm glad you're here, American born. I appreciate it. I hope you have your coffee with me. I'm having iced tea just to get my throat together. Ophelia Burkhalter is here. I'm glad to see you live in the chat, Ophelia Burkhalter. Thank you. Everyone that comes in live, even if you can't drop down while we are live, I still appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we are Ladies of London. Of course, this is the new / reboot of Ladies of London. This one is called The New Reign. So I like it so far. It is pretty good. I like the characters. I like the way that they are showing their lives. And I like the fact that they don't seem to be kind of faking the funk. The only one I see putting on airs is Margo. She's been accused of that. Mark has peeped her from the beginning. She's kind of upset about it, but it's okay. We love it because we're going to get a good little feud out of this. Margo, I don't think you're ready. I think you're ill-equipped, and I'll give you a couple of cues. Grand Rising, Mama Bees, thank you so much for coming in during the live. I appreciate you. This is one of my moderators, Grand Rising Sandra P, chat, mod. She came in speaking to everyone. Thank you so much. Ophelia Burkhalter and Mama Bees greet each other. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is episode 7, so they're getting a full season. Ladies of London, The New Reign, and the episode 7 is called Horsing Around. They got the little theme song, I know you're pretty, but this is my city. It's really cute. I love everything that they're doing with this so far. Yes, we love it. Mark, keep your foot on her neck. Yes, and she didn't even have to come up and reveal herself as being such a big phony. He was just saying little, my friend said that she is unrecognizable. She's different. And then Margo's like, your mama didn't want you. Margo, that is not going to get the people on your side. I don't like what I see of her. We start out with Myka. Myka is the other American. Myka was kind of made a fool out of the first episode or two with Dara, who didn't know this lady at all, even though they had basically come through their younger 20s together and they've been friends for 20 years down at the University of either Florida or Miami. I'm not sure. It'll come to me. Yeah, the theme music's really cute. I like it. I like this show a lot. And this is the best dressed cast across Bravo, in my opinion. This is from someone who I throw on T-shirts. Today I'm wearing my Gordon Gartrell. That's when Theo paid Denise all that money. That's what Denise came up with. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, y'all. Rest in peace. Margo's nasty for no reason. She need to take that over there to Southern Charm or something. And she gonna get a chance for them to tell her again, go back to LA, and that's a fake city, and that's where she's more comfortable, but we'll see. Myka's brother, Bron, is in London. I'm happy for Myka. Myka is lonely. Her husband is gone weeks out of a month traveling for his job. He is in the finance industry. She has 2 small children. She doesn't really know how to choose friends. She's the etiquette lady right behind me in the pink dress. I'll get to the side for a minute so you can see. Well, that's Kimmy next to me. I don't have a separate picture of. Oh, I know what I can do. All right, you see her in pink? That is Myka. It's the same photo on top of the photo. I don't have the individual ones yet. But that is our friend Myka. She's the American. Her brother Bron's in the city. She's so happy. She said they keep in touch. They train together weekly. Y'all, this really works. During COVID, during 2020, some of my family were like homebound. I was in a job. I'm an essential worker. I work in transportation. One of my other sisters is in the medical field. She was out and about, but there were others that were remote, working from home. And we actually were more in touch then than we are now. So I understood Myka perfectly when she said Brown works out with her weekly and they really keep in touch like that. But now she has her brother in the flesh. He comes in, he's cute. He has one of those little mustaches, and he is telling her that he wants to visit her. It's her birthday. She's taking polo lessons for her birthday. It's something she's always wanted to do. And then we find out that Martha, because of Lady Martha's past husbands and her past as kind of an aristocrat, she has experience riding horses. So, of course, Martha's the first one invited. Mark is being discussed by Margo. Margo is telling everybody that Mark is mean. He's a clown. She feels ganged up on by Kimmy. Again, Kimmy is the one in green. She's ganged up on by Kimmy and Mark. Now, Margo is the type that she hits you first and then hides her hand, and now she's crying and she's the victim. So Margo's doing this. She's telling Missy, anyone that will listen, Mark is making fun of her and everything. I'll read a few comments and then we'll continue. Yes, I love the theme music. Yes, Margo's really a nasty woman. Okay, so I covered those. I'm sorry, everybody. So she has lost the verbal combat with Mark, and now she wants to enlist other people on her side. Margo, we see you. She attacked his parents. She attacked his childhood. And all he said was a friend told him that she's acting a little different. And he laughed. It was kind of a joke, but Margo wants to go to hell, and we'll see. Mark can go with her, I think, easily. We've seen it already. So production shows us Mark talking about that horrid little ostrich feather jacket that she had on and making fun of her clothes. So Kimmy is saying when Martha finds out who Margo really is, she's going to have already turned on her. I do believe that too. Martha wants everybody to be friends. Martha keeps saying, Mark, if he could just see everything that he has in common with Margo, and Margo's amazing. I've known her 20 years. They'll be friends. They'll be friends. Now, what I have found out kind of the hard way sometimes, everyone within the friend group is not meant to be friends. And sometimes you might have to step away from that friend group if that's the case. Instead of trying to force everybody to get along, it gets a little awkward for everybody. Now, we know they have to throw in these little themes. They tried to do it on Dubai. It didn't work as well. They were talking about Thanksgiving, and I'm like, Thanksgiving? Y'all really? But here, Kimmy is telling us Brits don't really celebrate the 4th of July. Kimmy is the other American. She is Haitian American heiress, and she's saying that Brits don't like to be reminded of their defeat. We know that's when the United States fought for their freedom from the British Empire. So, of course, that's not something that they would celebrate there. It's silly to even think that they would. And for Margo to have this big party is kind of silly to me. But it coincides with her stepsons being there with their father, her new husband that she trapped with the baby, him being in London. So the family is together. It's kind of a welcome home party, but she wants to coincide it with 4th of July. So, okay. American Born says 100%. She better recognize the people in London socially are nothing to play with. They're absolutely not. And they can easily ice her out. And the way they're verbally whipping her into a frenzy is funny to me because Mark hasn't really done anything to her yet. What he said was so light for her to bring out the big bazooka. How much worse can you get, Margo? You done told the man his family don't want him. So there's really nowhere else she can go. Now we see her going possibly lower. I'll mention it because I don't like what Margo says at the end or maybe in a preview. Thank you, Mama Bees. A little housekeeping. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share the live to keep the channel in the algorithm. Thank you. Yes, that does really help a newer, growing channel, especially Team Replay. Engage in the comments. I always answer back. And then also use the hype feature when you see that. That is near the like button. I thank you very much for that. So Martha is giving her idea, laughing. America in its current state may need a king. Martha, we can't laugh with you about that. In its current state, we don't need a king. That's what we're trying not to have, particularly the one that is there now. So Martha, if you're going to get political, just make sure you're not sounding kind of ignorant. We don't need a king. So I couldn't even laugh. That's silly. So one vote, one person, democratic rule. We don't need a king. So that was silly. Margo's husband that she begged to marry are there. She is so happy. I'm happy for the little girl. We see a lot of little vignettes of the little girl. She's saying that she has adjusted the most to city life and she loves it. She loves riding the double-decker buses. She loves all the events that you could go to in the city. So I thought this was really cute. So Margo, I can see that she's the type, I think she would not be a standout in LA or even in Charleston. So she feels like she can put on this new persona in another city. But unfortunately, she's been found out really the second she got there. So this is going to be a theme, I think, through this season. So Margo and Mark are talking. Also, no, not Margo. Mark and Martha are talking. I'm sorry, y'all. All these M's have me in a chokehold. Let me see if I can show you who. Martha is the one in the black dress. She's kind of draped over Missy. Missy is the one with the white thing over her neck. Mark Francis, of course, he's the only gent, so we know who he is. He's at the bottom in white. Mark is saying there's nothing about Margo that is fascinating to him, nothing that intrigues him. So, saying Mark, I agree with you. And Martha's saying you just have to get to know her. He feels like she's putting on a performance 100%. She's an actress. I have to agree with Mark. I do. I agree with Mark. Her ego is bigger than her career. American born, you spoke a word. Her ego is bigger than her career. So this polo match that they're having, they go to a polo match and then they're going to get a chance to ride on the horses. I think Myka went all out for her party. Missy is saying that polo players don't really make any money. I thought that was kind of crazy because production put up that their annual salary averages 748,000 euro, or for us, that would be $1 million annually. So these guys are making some money. Missy says she's single. Missy, are you? Barely, I guess. We get Lady Emma appears. Lady Emma, if you're going to be featured in this show, we need to see a little bit more of Lady Emma. Lady Emma comes around. She likes to cackle. She'll talk a little bit of stuff, but she's not going to get too down and dirty because of her position. I don't blame her for that. So Lady Emma is asking Mark, how's your dad? Mark said he's in the hospital. She is genuinely shocked. She's like, oh my goodness. Now we know Mark just bought a home in Tuscany because his dad, whom he's not been close to, even though the father would fly him in, they just haven't had the relationship. And he's purchased a home since the dad's getting older to be near him. Now Mark's father's in the hospital. You see, Margo, why you don't go to hell on people? Because you don't know what they're going through. Y'all, this is terrible. American Born is saying she's looking for her next Mark. Poor Missy. And I'm laughing too. We're laughing about the polo player. Missy is a trip. She's always trying to catch. She was out there on the horses and the girls were flying out. But Mark has already said that. It's not going to be a Missy moment if she doesn't have some type of wardrobe malfunction. So Lady Emma's shocked that Mark's dad is in the hospital. Mark is trying to act a little nonchalant, but y'all, he seems a little scared and hurt. I can understand that, Mark. I feel really badly for him. We get a scene with Lottie. Lottie, who is pregnant, she's married to, she thinks a Johnny Depp lookalike. He really just has, the hat and some of the dressing that Johnny used to do. Johnny still kind of is a flashy dresser. Lottie's saying, Margo is a woman that had X on screen at 21 and she can't stand up to Mark Francis. What's going on? American Born pointed out last week, Lottie got a slick mouth on her. I see it. I love it. And Lottie is in a unique position. Lottie's going to be stone cold sober while they're at these events because she's pregnant. Her husband is not there usually, so they're not just really going to be attacking Lottie. So Lottie pretty much is a free-for-all. Get him, Lottie. Lottie can say whatever she wants. So I find that a little bit funny. She says, I'm not playing polo because I'm pregnant. Lottie, I don't blame you. So that's going to be her excuse for everything. If she gets on somebody and she's a little too slick, they can't really do anything to her because it's Lottie, it's hormones, it's this, it's that. So they're all there at this event. Another thing I love about this cast, everyone gets invited to all of the major cast events. Now, if they have a small lunch or a small brunch, then you'll see them break off into groups where they can talk about each other. But this is the way that it should be. I really like this. So Martha is saying that horses have a love for her and she loves horses. It's in her blood. She goes right up to a horse, almost as if she's talking to it. And the horse kind of nuzzles her. So I thought that was really sweet. Martha says that it's relaxation. She feels like crying when she's around them. And she used to really be a rider, but she doesn't ride as much because it reminds her of her former life. Y'all know Martha has had a few husbands in the past and has only come out of it with a title, which is Lady Martha. So poor Martha. Her and Hacker A are having a really hard life. So she is at the event. Margo is saying that she's taken lessons before. Margo, I don't believe you. I think you're kind of lying. I don't know. Maybe they do ride horses in Charleston. I'm sure they do. Actually, I live in Charlotte, and there are people that ride horses around me. Now, unfortunately, they've built up so much. Sometimes I get a little nervous when I see a horse and his rider coming up a main street, but they handle it well. There's a ranch actually not too far from me. So we get to see Martha riding. Kimmy is exclaiming to Mark, oh, you can just see it. I love seeing her this happy. She really knows how to ride. Kimmy was sweet this episode. She didn't do too much. Her and Mark kind of dragged Margo a little bit about her clothes, all of this. Missy comes over there and tells the group, Margo's riding, so she's watching them from afar. I know they're talking about me. Yeah, Margo, they are. So what Missy is saying, Mark, are you going to apologize to Margo? She's really upset. Mark's like, what does she have to be upset about? He kind of scoffs. What does she have to be upset about? And she said, well, she's upset that you were making fun of her clothes. You were making fun of her demeanor. You were making fun of everything about her. And Lady Emma's funny. Mark always makes fun of my clothes. Sometimes I wear something that's not the best thing to wear just to hear it. I think it's hilarious. But Lady Emma, Margo is trying to be a little bit more sensitive than you. I honestly don't believe that Margo is that hurt. And Mark calls her out. He's like, she's not upset. She's not upset. I didn't really do anything to her. And they did have mutual verbal combat. Margo's trying to make something of it. I don't know if it's for storyline or not. Y'all, I get kind of annoyed with some of these Bravo shows. Some people come in as if it's an acting job, and I think Margo's doing that. I think she thought she was going to be this cool American and accepted in all the circles, and she's rich and she has this fabulous husband and all of this. None of that appears to be the case to me. Now, I do think they have money. I do think that the husband has money. That's why she trapped him with that baby. And I do think that Margo is a tryhard, which I don't like to see. Lottie's telling the group, no, I think Margo is really upset. She was crying. She was crying over what Mark said to her. And that's when Lottie put that line in about she's having X on screen at 21 and she can't stand up to Mark Francis. So Lottie is going to play both sides of the fence a little bit. Let me see if I have Lottie where you could. Oh, she's in black, so I didn't have to move at all. There's Lottie in black off to the side in her little suit that her husband Joshua actually makes for her. He is a custom designer and he makes all of his and Lottie's clothing. So I'll read a few comments and we'll engage. That horse knows she's a little off. Yeah, she was kind of like, and the horse kind of nuzzled her. Like, they say animals are real sensitive like that. Even dolphins. Allegedly, if you get in the water and you're kind of hurt, the dolphin will try to like nudge you and help you. I love Lady Emma. I do too, American born. I understand why she has to play it a little bit cool. She don't want to get on here and act a fool. But I do love her. You could tell that she's witty and she doesn't mind getting in the mess either. Because she's good about, they'll be in a circle and they'll be talking about somebody, usually Margo. And then Mark will be the one to kind of really throw a dig. And Lady Emma's just sitting there. But Lady Emma, you in on it too. So I do kind of like that. That makes me laugh. Exactly. The cool American is Miss Manners. Yes, I'm surprised that Myka is she's blossomed to the front of this show because after episode 1 and 2, with the way Dara played in her face, I was kind of embarrassed for Myka and I didn't know where she would go from there. But the rest of the group actually really likes Myka. She has never shown up without a gift in her hand. She's very thoughtful. She seems to be a wonderful friend. And even I call Kimmy a meanie, even someone like Kimmy, y'all seen Kimmy, even someone like Kimmy, she's not going to be mean to Myka because Myka's just so sweet. And the etiquette classes that she's doing and all those different things, I think it's really smart for her. If we get a second season, they're going to come for Lottie. Backhanded comments. They have to. I don't know how far along she is. If they get a reunion, she may still be carrying. But if they get a second season, I could see Mark, some of the others, particularly Margo. If Margo is still able to maintain and she returns, I think she'll return. I don't see a scenario where she willingly would leave a show. But yeah, this is going to be pretty funny to see it. They say the numbers are not there, American Born, so I'm a little worried. American Born is laughing. We're talking about Lady Emma. Welcome in, Kiwan JTV. Good morning, Sandra in chat. This is one of my fellow content creators. Thank you for joining during the live. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And American Born spoke back to Kiwan J. So they're all talking about each other and talking about Margo. Like, I know they're talking about me. Lottie had the nerve to ask Mark, is he going to apologize to Margo? Apologize? Apologize for what? And I'm with Mark because these are two adults. They had mutual verbal combat. And the only one that really went below the belt and threw low blows was Margo. So in my opinion, she's not owed an apology. Lady Emma says it's just about clothes. She's a big girl. She can take it. I'm with Lady Emma. I feel the same. Mama B speaks to Kiwan J. So I really don't think too much is going to come from this. I feel like Margo going around telling people that I was crying over what Mark said. She's trying to pretend she's this little delicate mouse, maybe kind of like Myka. Myka's getting that sort of treatment. But again, Myka was misused and she hadn't done anything to anyone. Margo, you are talking a lot of stuff about everybody. Remember first episode and second. Margo was instrumental in the rumor about Dara being a mistress, which I found honestly a little bit racist. I didn't like it because that is the only one of the other people of color, I'll say, because there are other people of color on the cast. Myka's father, I think he's a Barbadian. Kimmy's father is Haitian. Lady Emma is a Nigerian Brit. But Dara was the only Asian. So to call her a madam with some of the stereotypes that were out there and laugh about it, freely do it. It wasn't just Kimmy, who I'll say, Kimmy is a mean girl, but Kimmy can take it and expects to get that back. Margo was doing it and she thought it was funny and cute as well. But she didn't do it to Dara's face because I think Dara could have ate her up. Y'all, I think Dara may have bowed out a little early. I would have liked to have seen what she was able to do on this show. And I think that she kind of would have been a good villain, but also I think Margo's maybe turning into the villain where they thought it was going to be Kimmy. So this was pretty interesting. I did like how the event went. The horses were beautiful. We got to see Martha go up to one of the trainers and she said, would you mind after the entire event if I'm able to just ride? And he was like, but of course. Martha got on that horse, y'all. Martha was galloping all around. And you could tell she was well versed. Comparison to Margo, the acting fake, when she got up there. I took lesson years ago. And she got up there. That girl could not ride. And they were like, oh, has Margo ever been on a horse? She didn't look like it. She didn't do what Martha did. Everybody was exclaiming how natural Martha was. And she was. Y'all, this episode, it was good because they all got together. They talked. It's called Horsing Around. It's number 7. But honestly, that's the end of my notes because that's the end of the episode. Not too much went on. But I have a note in here about Margo going low. This is a preview. So I'm curious to see if it's next episode or how far they're going to bring this. But we see Mark extremely upset, not in his usually laughing, mocking way, but he says, I've been bullied for 20 years because of who I am. I'm not a freak. And then we see Margo in the back of a limo with someone saying, Mark is a freak. So Margo, that is disgusting. Margo's disgusting. All Mark has done so far was kind of make fun of her clothing and just the way that someone else told him that she puts on ears. So now she said this man family didn't want him. He's been disowned and she's going to call him a freak. Now, we don't have to speculate that more than likely it's about the fact that he is a gay man. So we don't know what he went through growing up, being a gay man in this culture. So this was kind of terrible. I agree. We could all hate Dara. Yeah, and I think Dara is the type, she probably wouldn't mind being the villain. So I don't know. I think maybe it has something to do with her connection to the royal family, or at least her child's baby daddy is supposed to be one of the princess's current husband, Beatrice or Eugenie. I don't know which. Haven't taken the time to look it up because we don't really care that much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Also in the preview, Lady Emma is saying, I've talked about it so much. I'm inviting everyone to Longleaf. Longleaf is the place that she and her husband run. It is, I think, the largest residential home in the UK that allows visitors. So that is a lot of their income coming from that. People come there to just tour, but Lady Emma and her family actually lived there. So she let us know episode 1 or 2. It was kind of like living in a fishbowl. I can't wait to see it, everybody. I'm a fan of the BBC, Downton Abbey, all of that. Actually, one night during the cruise, they were playing the movie. I watched it before. I sat and watched it again. Downton Abbey. I can't remember what it was. Kind of like A New Life or something like that. Mary, of course, was going through some stuff, so they were actually having to move out of Downton Abbey. Maybe Margo will get chased by a wild animal. American Born. I think Mark Francis is bad enough, and he's just using his mouth. She don't need no wild animal to get after her. Y'all, was this at least a half hour? I can't. Oh, we're right at 25 minutes. This is brief. I don't want to cheat everybody. I like to get on here and do a minimum of a half hour. But again, there wasn't a lot in the episode. So the whole 4th of July thing, that fell flat. The only one that was really celebrating was Margo. And I think it was just because she wanted to have an American holiday she could say something about. The best thing it did do was just kind of give me a timeline. So they were filming during the summer. So Myka's birthday fell during that time. Must have been really hot out there at that polo match. Got to see them get together, eat, drink, be merry, talk about each other again. So I'm curious to see how many episodes they are actually going to get. Curious as to whether or not they'll get a real reunion or they'll just get flown to New York and be in the clubhouse with Andy. He's had most of them in the clubhouse. I don't believe I've seen Lady Emma in there yet. I didn't get to watch What Happens Live yet. I saw a few clips of him having Portia in there. People that think Portia's not working like myself, I'm just going to have to get over it because let me tell you something. Andy, I can't wait to see the baby Andy clips because Andy cackled the whole night. He loves himself some Portia. So Portia can do no wrong in that man's eyes. And as long as you got Andy in your corner, I guess you're just going to be there. So Portia's going to hang out like a Giselle, I guess. Portia, we need to see more because I'm interested in seeing more. Now, she did shoot her first event in the house, her house, not Simon's house, in that house during episode 1, but haven't seen any go naked, haven't seen any of the Portia sheets, haven't seen any of, she does a little bit of acting, no acting projects. Thankfully, she's not singing anymore, but Portia, we need to see a little bit more from you. Ladies in London, I get it, but at least the cast, everyone is showing a little bit of their life. Oh my God, have seen the drama from Rhode Island. It's all popping off on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, American Born. I'm going to have to get back over there because I know something's going on. Actually, I'm going to try to do an impromptu, maybe tonight, maybe in the morning, because I haven't watched episode 3 yet of Studio 54. I watched it at one of the creators I like to watch, Mrs. Best. Have you reviewed that yet, Kiwan J? But the Studio 54 party is going to jump off there because Rula and her husband, Brian, call themselves confronting, is her name Joellen, the one that's going around saying that Brian is a cheater. And Brian is a cheater, but Rula's the type woman who's actually mad. And he does love Portia, you're right. You see him, American Born, he was having a fit. He loved himself some Portia. Portia gonna have to go to work though. Come on, P. Willie. We know you got it in you. You don't have to hit anybody, but she's witty enough now. She kind of maneuvers around. She knows what to do. I didn't like her latest little stunt of what she's saying Kelly's dating a married man. I don't buy it. I think it's projection. Because one thing we do know, P. Willie will take a husband or mess with a married man. Even though right now, Sway is her current situation. I'm here for it. I like it. I thought it was cute. Yes, he just got busted for putting a tracker on his wife Rula vehicle. American Born, projection. He's the one cheating. So now you want to track her? Rula wouldn't be wrong to cheat back. Even though I'm not one of them, I would just leave the man. But again, they have built a life together. And as Rula said, when you've produced children out of your body, you shouldn't want to leave right away. So y'all, that is a mess. Are you talking about Real Housewives of Rhode Island? Yes, American Born sometimes has inside information about them. And she's telling us about Brian. Brian is a creep. Brian, the podiatrist. You're out here cheating and you're going to put a tracker on Rula's vehicle? Disgusting. I'm going to actually review it. I still need to watch the episode. It's episode 3. So I was watching with Watch Your Mouth Reviews and Mrs. Best. They were reviewing it. They've watched it already, of course. Exactly. And he had a listening device in her vehicle at one time as well. He's a creep. Brian knows that he's a cheater and he's trying to catch her. Yes, I'll put up this week's episode sometime this week. 3 videos behind. Kiwan J, that's not behind. You are working all the time. So I know they'll get up there in a timely manner. American Born confirms, yes, she was talking about Rhode Island. Okay, I'll be looking for your video, Kiwan J. Yes, thank you for supporting Kiwan J, American Born. Any of the creators that you see here or that I mentioned are people that I watch. And then I'll see a lot of you in the YouTube streets, places that I frequent. So I'll shout them out if they're in the chat. I don't really say names or something if they're not in the chat or I didn't particularly watch something. Because I don't know, people getting a little funny about that, y'all. Have episodes 1 and 2 up. Yes, I've watched those. They're really good. They're worth watching. So we're at a half-hour mark, everybody. This was Ladies of London, The New Reign, episode 7, Horsing Around. So this is a show well worth watching, even if you haven't caught up yet. Start it and watch it so we can support it, because I'm hearing that the numbers aren't there. And I like seeing reality shows where the people are at least showing their real life. With the exception of, we'll see what Margo's doing. I don't know about Margo. So it was good. They had me cussing. Okay, we know it's going to be good. Kiwan J had to jump somebody. I'm here for it. I'm going to watch it. Okay, thank you so much. American Born's laughing. Yeah, it's funny. I like when somebody gets dragged. And she gets them. I love it. Everybody, thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I appreciate you being in the live video for Ladies of London, The New Reign, episode 7. And I'm working on some other things. I haven't watched Rhode Island yet, but that is the one I'm working on. There's a new show I'm trying to track down. I think it's called In the City or something. And it's based off of the people that are Summer House. They've moved to New York. So I don't know where they are as far as filming or anything like that, but I found a picture and they already have the cast and everything. So I'm interested mainly because of Sierra, Amanda, and that old dog, West. Thank you, Mama Bees. I'll end with Mama Bees' comment. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. And again, I will see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you. Goodbye.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I